He's right. It is scary. First of all, I want to give all praises to Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua, Ba'ashem, Rakakadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Salutation to all the brothers and the few sisters out there. Unto this thy foreigners from the seed of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, Shalom in the Hebrew, which means peace. It's going to be a quick show to the spirit of Yahweh, Ba'ashem, Yahushua. As we can clearly see, the new norm, the actual weapon of mass destruction. When I mean mass destruction, I meaning it's going to cause a lot of damage. A lot of people is going to be harmed by these things. This is the devil, like the scripture says. Matter of fact, let me start with that. Revelations 12:12. Therefore rejoice, ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. So who's in the heavens? The angels. Why would they be rejoicing? The prophecy of the Lord is going to be revealed. Now the angels of the heavens can get down and fulfill all the prophecies that was written in the scriptures. And one of the main prophecies is coming down to aid the children of Israel. All right? It says, "Ye that dwell in them." So the angels up in heaven, the angels have been watching. They cannot interfere or intervene until the set prophecies of Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahushua takes place. That's the way of the Lord. He is set bound by his prophecies. So when the angels of the heavens are going to truly rejoice is when to fulfill and to do the things that, like the scripture says, when Sirach, the 39th chapter, we're talking about there be spirits that's crave for vengeance. And one of the main key things that it says, they wait to appease him that made them. So they waiting right now for things to happen. As just as anxious are we as we are, they are beyond anxious. All right? Woe to the habits of the earth and of the sea. And we all dwell in the realms of the earth. When it means woe, meaning death and destruction. It says, "For the devil is come down unto you, having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time." So who is the devil this Bible speaks of? By now, anybody that watch any of our videos, anybody that has common sense will realize that Esau, the so-called white man, is the devil that the Bible speaks of. Now, people may read this, misinterpret it, thinking that it's the actual devil. Let me get the precept real quick. Revelation 3:10. It says, oh no, not Revelation 3:10. 2. Fear none of those things which thou shalt suffer. Behold, the devil shall cast some of you into prison, that ye may be tried, and ye shall have tribulation 10 days. Be thou faithful unto death, and I will give thee a crown of life. So the devil, once again, in this reference, is not talking about the demon Satan. It's talking about men. And here's another proof. Psalms 75 and 6. I'm sorry. Psalms Oh, I'm sorry. Psalm 17. I'm tripping. Psalm 17, 13, it says, Arise, O Lord, disappoint him, cast him down, deliver my soul from the wicked, which is thy sword. So the wicked is the Lord's sword. All right, which is gonna say from men which are thy hand, O Lord, from the men of the world which have their portion in this life, whose belly thou fillest with thy hid treasures. They are full of children and leave their rest of their substance to babes. So demons don't leave their substance to babes. All right, demon. All right. So going back to Revelations, the third chapter, the second chapter, Revelation 12 and 12. There are men on earth that is on the left hand side of the Lord, and He uses those men to bring in evil times. All right. Salakia. So, what evil times this particular man is trying to bring? Who was the wicked? Esau Edom, the so-called white man. All right. It says in Ezekiel 21. And 8, I believe. Yep, Ezekiel 28, 21 and 8. It says, Again, the word of the Lord came unto me, saying, Son of man, prophesy and say, Thus saith the Lord, say, a sword is sharpened, and also furbished, is sharpened to make a sore slaughter. So the furbished, the weapon of destruction, and what they're doing is minimizing the mind to believe that this is a normal based thing. Like, oh, this is cute. Oh, this is, and all of this is just emanating life. And these are the weapons that are soulless, that's going to bring heavy judgment onto the average person. All right. These are the weapons of destruction that the Lord is going to use upon the earth. This is prior to the ICBM nuclear missiles. All right. This is when they're gonna enforce it. There was I'm not gonna say a study. I forgot what movie it was. Maybe it was a documentary. Well, World War One. It was a post-traumatic syndrome towards Edomites that had to go because it was a great war, and who they were fighting? They was fighting people that looked like them. World War II, the same thing. Now, what was the difference with World War II and Vietnam? No longer do you were fighting people that look like you. That's out of the question. All right, you looking at people that is from another nation. This is why they had no problem dropping a bomb in Hiroshima and Nagasaki, because it doesn't look like them. And I believe, I forgot what it was. I know it was a film that I saw, and the character said basically, back in the days, you know the enemy by what they wear. They might wear a different shoulders, a different uniform. That was another indication. Or they might be a different color or a different race. And what that would do, that would prevent people from actually executing their assignment. So what Esau planning to do is, in order to execute his true agenda, He created vessel instruments, weapons that can not harm a person, a human being. This is why when you watch the movie Terminator, what did he say? The guy who played damn, I just saw it too, Kyle Reese. You cannot reason with it. You cannot reason with it. Is an unstoppable something that is unstoppable. It would destroy anything. So this man Esau, with his mastery of weaponry, which is his blessing, going back to whom? Esau and his blessing. So this man's blessing is his weaponry. All right. So it says here back in this, I have to bring that stuff out. It is sharpened to make a saw slaughter. It is furbished that it may glitter, meaning sharpened. And the ultimate weapon of destruction is his ICBM nuclear missiles. Should we then make mirth? So the question to all you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, which sometimes we say who this word is for, sometimes we just go with the spirit. By now, everybody should know who we say is the chosen. Now, they may not believe it, but those that come from black Native Americans, what they call black, what they call Native Americans, and Hispanics from their father's side, who has a certain type of lineage, you are the chosen people of the lost tribe of Israel. All right, you are the sons and daughters of the creator of all things. So the question to you, knowing that what's going to happen, whether you believe it or not, and it's true, it's whether you believe it or not, you're going to either bow or get destroyed. So should you go out there and work concerned about clubbing, living your best life and all that? This little thing, it may seem minute, but they're trying to introduce people to this idea. Now, when a crime is committed, there is no more human factor. It's going to be all problem solving. The computer is going to take it upon itself to decide to judge people. They're not going to be concerned about your emotions, what triggered you. They're going to enforce that current rule. So this is a major weapon, because you have the Boston Dynamics, they have their weapon. And this is what everything's turning into, AI. So it said, a contempt of the rod of my son as every tree. So these are a form of punishment. I tell you Romans the 12th chapter. No, sorry, 13th chapter. Matter of fact, let me get that, because there's something comes out a lot. Romans 13, I believe it's 5. No, it's gonna go up. 4. For he is the minister of the Most High, talking about the rulers, the powers that be. Okay. A minister, that means what? This is serving the purpose of Yahweh B'Shem Yahushai towards the non-elect. All right. It says, for he is the minister of good of the Most High to thee for good. So Jake has a messed up mind, as they don't need cops. We'll just take it upon ourselves. But look how animalistic people. They need to be recognized, and it doesn't necessarily means that you just rely on the man. We can rely on ourselves, because if it wasn't for the so-called white man and his police force and so forth, be realistic, majority of you blacks, Latinos, and Native Americans, mainly you blacks, would have massacred yourselves by now. So these police officers, they are demons, but if you do the right thing by the Lord is not going to use them as a sword against you. All right? It says, but if thou do that which is evil, be afraid, for he beareth not the sword in vain. So all that's coming down the pipe, these new inventions, these mechanic weapons and so forth, these are not the reason is all created is not for vain. Meaning it's not meant to go to just to be seen by men, to walk in the parades and so forth. They're meant to be used. All right? They are meant to be used. So despite their soulless automatons, how they will say, despite how soulless they may be, they're not created for vain purposes. For he is the minister of the Most High, and the revenger to execute wrath upon them that doeth evil. So this judgment that's about to take place, this is a judgment on 2/3 of the nation of Israel. All right? That's the judgment. So you don't have to worry about bashing somebody in. You don't have to worry about none of that. Why? Because they're soulless. So it says, going back to Ezekiel 21 and Slacky. It said, verse 11, and he have given it to be furbished, that it may be handled. Part also of the furbish and handling and so forth is to weaponize these things to come against the nation of Israel. This sword is sharpened and is furbished to give it unto the hand of the slayer. Who was the slayer? Esau. So the Lord has let Esau be established so he could execute judgment upon his people. Now, many people may not understand that, but in order for prophecy to be fulfilled, Scripture says in Acts, confirming the word. It says it confirming. Sorry. Was it Acts 14 and 28? Let me get that real quick. I think it's 14:28. No, 14 and 22. Confirming the souls of the disciples and exalting them to continue in the faith. By what? Encouraging them by the word. And here's the proof. Not only by the word, by their acts, what they go through. It says that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So the tribulation that needs to take place, a part of that tribulation is one of the very most important prophecies that need to be fulfilled, that we are at the beginning stage of. It's called Jacob's trouble. All right. Jeremiah 30:5. It says, thus saith the Lord Yahweh, we heard a voice of trembling, of fear, not of peace. Yeah, when you see these things come and you can't reason with them, all right? I'm sorry, it was the wrong thing. When you can't reason with a robot dog, when you can't reason with a robot in general, try to reason with AI. You get upset because they're only allowed to say so much. All right? Only to think to a surface level. There's no feelings behind it, because the things that is about to come down, there are things that is not of this world that would care less. That's artificial intelligence. Actually now and see whether a man do travail with child. No, the answer to that is no. Men don't have children. Wherefore do I see every man with his hands on his loins as a woman in travail, and all faces are turned into paleness. Because why? Because all the hell that's about to take place. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. So, what day is it talking about? It's talking about Jacob's trouble. Jacob is of the former name of our forefather, whose name was changed to Israel. So Israel as a whole has not been in trouble, no matter how bad it is, terrible it is. They have not been in trouble as the trouble that they're about to take place. Why? Because the Lord is allowing Esau to use technology that was not known in the ancient world. All right? That was only imagined. Imagine a soulless automaton telling you or judging you. Showing no mercy. All right? Because according to its calculations, they have the right to judge. Terminator. What else I'm thinking about? Terminator was one of the main things. iRobot. All right. Johnny 5. But all these things to show you that mechanical things of artificial life judging the people. And that's why it was Terminator that stated Skynet knew exactly who it was going to target. It would target the people that created it. Because the people actually are the biggest threat in history. Esau just did a thing talking about bringing back the dire wolves. And they was talking about the dodos and so forth. The biggest threat is Esau, but artificial intelligence is not gonna say, "Oh, is the so-called white man." All right, it's gonna, because it was programmed to blame everybody. So that was the biggest thing in the film of, what was it, the fourth Terminator? Skynet got into fully operation, where it was able to go use the World Wide Web, and what ended up happening, it nuked everybody because they deemed people to be a threat, the biggest threat to themselves. So even it says, so it is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of it. So in order to us to be saved out of this particular craziness that no man has seen before, I believe that's Daniel's 12th chapter, it says as well. Well, matter of fact, let me get that, because I had that in mind. Daniel's 12:1. It says, at that time Michael shall stand up, the great prince, which standeth for the children of thy people. And there shall be a time of trouble such as never was since there was a nation, and even the same time at that time thy people shall be delivered, everyone that is found written in the book of life. And why, you may ask, where the Lord would single things out? Because that's the way he wanted it to be. Michael, the warrior prince, is going to send divine interventions to protect the elect from these times. Out of all things that's been written in man history, is the worst possible outcome. Something that's ice cold to judge you in a righteous manner. There's even worse than Esau himself. So, yeah, this definitely it's going to go down sooner. Because they're bringing it to the police force. Why? So people of the neighborhoods could feel free. But this is all part of what's going to take place. And that is the mass, all right, the mass danger that is going to come down. That's why we need divine intervention. Because like the scripture says in Isaiah 59, the Lord's about to set a standard. That standard is what? Spiritual powers. The reason why we need spiritual powers, that's why we just gonna show off our power levels and so forth. But is what the danger that's to take place. And the only way we could do anything, any damage to those that have this particular power is having spiritual powers. So the Lord is using everything to cancel one another. And the way the Lord's going to cancel Esau is by giving the elect the spiritual powers to defeat them. And everybody else is just fall victim to it. So we live in some beautiful times, man. So with that being said, shalom to the elected nations of Shalom.